All, just for the sake of the film, state your name and spell it for me, please.
Ron Hoopingarner, Hoopingarner.
All right, and so how long have you been coming to McCarty Lumber?
Since actually I go back to mid 50s when there was a wholesale lumber yard. I worked in Zanesville Lumber Yard in Zanesville, Indiana, and we used to come down here and buy material as a wholesale yard. Then I moved to Muncie in '68, and I've done business here ever since 1968. Been a builder for 30 years. I had my own business.
All right, and what's kind of your feeling about this whole thing? Of course, next
Well,
week will be closing
yeah,
down.
it's sad, I think, and it just the yards are going down, and it's a sad situation, in my opinion. You get more of a personal thing here, and it's going to be missed.
Talk a little bit about that personal atmosphere that you get from coming here.
Well, you know everybody personally, and they used to call you by name, and it's just a good feeling, and you build a good relationship through the years. I go way back when Willard Deed and Joe Caraway and Joe Judy and guys that worked here, Tom McCarty, and he owned it originally, and so we go way back, really.
Definitely. Then what's your favorite memory from coming in here in McCarty Lumber?
Well, just that the service they gave me, I could call and give them an order, and I know they'd treat me right and deliver it on time and just take care of the builder, basically.
All right, thank you very much.
You bet.
All right, first of all, just for the sake of the film, state your name and spell it for me, please.
Larry Perry, last name Perry.
All right, and first of all, how long have you been coming here to McCarty Lumber?
I built my daughter a house in 1984. And I was still with General Motors at the time, but we built it while I was still there, and I've been coming in here ever since.
All right, what do you think of the whole closing here in the next week?
I think it's sad. There's very few places you can go, like the box stores, where you can get the service you get here, where you get the knowledge that they had. You come in, and if you were framing a house and you needed beam sizes or anything, they were capable of doing it for you. You're going to miss that. The contractors are going to miss it.
Definitely. So did you get kind of like the other guy here said, did you get kind of that personal feel and things like
Yes.
that?
Of course, I retired from General Motors in 82 or 92, and I'd been built full-time until last year. And if you were framing a house, you call them in the afternoon and say, I'll figure a load for in the morning. Come in at 7 o'clock, give them the figures. By 9:30 or so, you had lumber. And you can't do that with unless you got that personal relationship.
All right, then what's your favorite memory or anything you want to add about McCarty Lumber?
Well, you get to know the people. If you didn't have anything to do or an afternoon, you might just drop in here and talk, and you know him personally. Greg's dad, I did quite a bit of work for him before he passed, and we became real good friends, and you lose all that.
All right, thank you very much. All right, first thing, just for the sake of the tape, give me your name and spell, please.
Bob Owens, Owens.
All right, and how long have you been coming here to McCarty Lumber?
First lumber I know of that came from here was probably 46 years ago, and it was for my own personal house. And I've been buying lumber here off and on I'm a remodeler and a general contractor, off and on all those years really, and really went full-time in '96 when I retired from General Motors, and I've been coming here ever since, and I like coming here because of the personal touch you get. Everybody knows you, and like the other fellow said, you call in the lumber, you know when it's going to get there, it's on time, and they take care of it. And So there's a real good feeling of coming in here and knowing you're going to see a friend, and the jokes and the good times we have here at the counter, and then getting the work done, you know.
Tell me about some of those good times. Describe some of those for me.
Well, I can't tell you the jokes, but but they were good times, and everybody's concerned about if you were sick or something. They wanted to know what happened to you, where you're at. There was a personal feeling toward everybody that came in here. If you got hurt or something, they would always want to know what happened or check up. You know, you go to other stores, the big stores, why there's no personal contact, and if you're getting ready to load your lumber, a lot of times you have to load it yourself, and you come here and they load it and get it for you. And if you have, I always found out if you got bad lumber or something, why you could return it, no hassle, and get it replaced. So it's a convenience that we're going to miss greatly in this community. So we really need to really appreciate the service we've got here over the years. Yes.
All right. And is there anything else you'd like to add to that, or anything that sticks out to you memory-wise, or?
Well, it's just it's an icon, or it's really a place that we're going to miss. And when it gets boarded up, it's going to be sad to see that. So that's it.
All right. Thank you. First thing I'll ask you here is give me your name and spell it for me, please.
My name is Matt Gossage, M-A-T-T-G-O-S-S-A-G-E.
All right. And first of all, how long have you been coming here to McCarty?
I'm 47 years old. The first time I came in here, I was 13.
And describe some of the memories you've had from coming here. Since you've been coming here for the last 31 years.
Like what the other guys were saying, it's a sense of family. I could call up Friday afternoon, say, Greg, I need 5 pounds of deck screws. Swing by on his motorcycle, drop him off at the house, and probably pay him with a beer. Stuff like that. The bigger deal is what you're seeing now, and what I was telling them, this isn't just about them. I mean, McCarty's has been an institution. My mom's been in the construction business for almost 40 years. We were pouring concrete 3 blocks down, really, really hot. Mom could come in, everybody got baseball hats, stuff like that. What we're seeing here, I guess for the lack of a better word, is the sterilization of America. I mean, it's these big box stores, they don't pay enough. The people don't have any experience. I can come in a place like this. What I do is, as you can tell, I'm pretty shaken up.
Yeah.
But I can come in a place like this, and if I have a turn of the century lock, Kevin can make me a key. If I go to one of the big stores, they don't know anything about it because, like I said, they don't pay for experience.
All right. Do you want to have anything else to say about that? The fact that it's going from the less personable stuff and going more towards the, like you said, the sterile stuff that you mentioned? Well,
I mean, it's just stuff like it. People go to the big box stores because they really believe it's cheaper. It isn't. Now would be, their hardwood might have been a little bit higher, but now I'm going to Ohio because the big box stores have nothing but this really kind of general thing that just suits a particular group.
All right. Is there anything like you want to add about memories here, or anything you'd like to add to that?
Just the memory thing. It's not one particular thing. It's just the whole family feel. It's like what the other guys were saying. Mm-hmm. You get treated different. I mean, I've been trying to steal pot from this place since I was 13 years old. Kevin had to move the fender washers. And it's just like, it's the same thing, even like with Spence. And these guys, they know so much more about older window and door hardware. I can call them up and ask them questions, and they'll spend the time and look for it. I mean, I can be out of town. If I need a special order item, I say, will you get this for me? If you go to the big box stores, they want you to come in, fill out all this paperwork, do all this other stuff. They don't know who I am. And here, by the time I get back in town, it's probably sitting in my shop because they know me well enough. I just tell them, open the door up and put it in there. that kind of stuff. At least it's not one particular thing.
All right, thanks for your time.
Thank you, sir.
For the sake of the film, please give me your name and spell it for me, please.
My name is Rick Marlowe, R-I-C-K-M-A-R-L-O-W.
All right, and first of all, how long have you been coming here to McCarty?
25 plus years.
25 years. And what have you taken away from those 25 years? What has been your experience in coming here?
Actually, pretty much I'm probably just following suit with the other guys that you've talked to. Everything they've said, just emphasize that by about 150%. This place is like the barbershop. You can come in here and sit down with Greg, Sue, Steve, Kevin, any of them, and just talk. It doesn't have to be about lumber. It doesn't have to be about doors or windows. It's pretty much friendship. And the other fellows that I'm following have said the same thing. They are top-notch in the field that they work with. Everything in this showroom right here does an excellent job for the customers that they've had in the past. I've never had any customer in my 25 plus years be dissatisfied with anything that has come out of this building, including the personnel. They've just done a wonderful job, a fabulous job, and I love them to death. When I got the phone call, it was the day after my son had a massive heart attack, just a couple of weeks ago. And that hurt just about as bad, And I was sad to see it go. And I'm still that way. Nothing will ever take its place. It will not happen. It's just not there. Like the last gentleman said, Matt, the box stores don't have a clue, not a clue. It's absolutely disheartening to walk in there knowing that you will not have this professionalism. It's as simple as that.
All right, describe a little bit more what you're talking about there in terms of the lack of what you get here in terms of what you get over at a Lowe's or a Menards or something of that nature.
Okay, at present I have a customer right now that is needing certain hardware for their windows and doors. No one can compare. I walk in here to Kevin and Kevin has the answer. It's immediate. It's not a wait thing. It's not, Rick, I'll call you back. It's, we'll do it right now. And he has all of the books, brochures, everything. They keep that stuff from years past. And you need to find something right here is where you can get it. Sad to say, it's leaving.
All right, and anything you'd like to add either about like the memories you've had here or anything else in that nature you want to add?
Yeah, the memories are top notch. Like I said, it's like the old barbershop style. You can just stop in here on a bad day if it's raining or snow or cold and go to lunch with somebody or bring lunch in here. It's always festive. They're festive on all the holidays. The memories of just driving by, I'm going to lose that memory coming down this road here on Council Street. It's like it's going to be an empty road from here on out. Going back in the yard with the guys, you go back there and you can't, if you're in a hurry, don't come to McCarty's because you're going to spend some time talking. And it's always fun. You just do it another day. If you're in a hurry, don't do it. But if you are in a hurry for lumber or whatever that you need, the supplies that they have, they're Johnny on the spot. No doubt about it. Second to none. Second to none. Ace.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
For me, please.
Jeff Hunter, Jeffhunter.
All right, and first, how long have you been coming here and being a customer of McCarty?
I've been a steady customer going, I don't know, 10, 15 years, but I've been coming in here over 25 years.
So you're coming in here even before you were a customer here?
Well, I worked for another company at a point in time. We was coming in, it was over 25 years ago.
All right, and first of all, describe some of a lot of the guys have been talking about how personable it is and how you don't really get that anywhere else in terms of other like places like Lowe's or Menards. Just describe that a little bit for me.
What you got to realize is the people here know the products they sell, or they get the information for you. A lot of the big box stores, what you're going to find is they can push a button on a computer and tell you they may have something, but as far as actually on-hand working knowledge of the products, they do not have that. They're very few far in between if there are.
Yeah. Describe for me some of the memories you have about coming in here.
Well, one of the things I can tell you I've got a pretty good track record for is they buy donuts for their employees, and I've managed to hit nearly every one of their birthdays every year. I get my donuts and coffee.
All right, anything else you'd like to add, anything onto that?
The one thing that I can say that is like you've already been told is that they know the information, they go the extra mile to help you as far as delivery or even come in on a Saturday when they were closed, come in for you. I've had them do that for me before.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Exactly. All right, first, for the sake of the tape, state your name and spell it for me, please.
Sue Earls, Earls.
All right, here, I'm going to sit down here real quick so that way.
I can look down instead of up.
Yeah. All right, first question I want to ask is, I know you said your partner knows a little bit more of the history, but kind of just describe a little bit of the history as you know it of McCarty Lumber.
Well, this used to be a livery stable years ago, but one of the men that originally started a lumber yard here was mostly dealing in wholesale, and Tom McCarty was doing the same thing and traveling around the United States out to the west, Oregon and Washington and Louisiana and places, and buying carloads of lumber, and then it would be delivered by rail car to the lumber yard that had purchased it. So he was a wholesaler, and there's a house just to south here by the railroad track, and that's where his office was. And just over the years, they became friends and formed a partnership. And then when the other man died, Tom McCarty bought him out. And then that's when it actually became McCarty Lumber Yard, and pretty much turned into retail then. But we sell to, somebody off the street, but mostly to contractors and remodelers and framers.
All right, I'm pretty sure I know what your answer is going to be to this, but what's your feeling on this whole place closing down? I mean, I know as someone one of the owners of it, it's got to hit home pretty big.
I will try to say how I feel because it's emotional.
Yeah.
I'm okay till I really start talking about it. It's like the guy said, it's very sad because this is the last actual lumber yard in this area. Knapp Supply, and there's a couple other places, Daig, and I think Try, but they're not a lumber yard like us. So it's very sad. The know-how's going by the wayside. People came here for quality products, and like one of the men said, if you got something bad, there was no question. We didn't want to sell something that was bad. We didn't want our customer to have to hide it behind something because it was bad. We took it back. And the men before Greg, Willard Deeds, and other men who worked in the yard looked at the shipments to make sure it was good and not moldy and dirty and split and splintered. We wanted to sell quality. And that's one of the things we're known for, honesty. Another one of the men said something about price. People wouldn't, sometimes they wouldn't check with us because they thought, oh, they're one location. They couldn't possibly sell for what so-and-so is. We could. Greg knew how to buy. Willard before him knew how to buy. Sometimes we had a little flexibility because we were our own bosses, so to speak. If we wanted to cut the price a little bit to take care of a customer or get an order, we could, within reason. We just built that relationship over the years, so even though I've only been here 16 years, it's a part of my life, and I'm sad to see it end for myself, for our customers, and for our employees.
And describe a little bit more in detail that personal feel that you've tried to, that you have been able to come across with.
Well, it was already here.
Mm-hmm.
I just tried to enter into these relationships. At first, nobody knew me, plus I was a woman. I was back here in the office by myself, so nobody saw me. So I tried to start going up front more and speaking to people and talking with them and enter into conversations so that I could know them and feel free to talk with them, and so they would feel like they could talk to me and not just say, who's that woman back there? I wanted to be part of it. It's no good for me to own part of it and work here if I'm not really part of it, and that means everything.
All right. One thing that I was thinking about as I was doing some research into this. Now, of course, places like Lowe's and Menards that will, of course, be starting to sell more now. They've been around for a while. So, what was it that kind of was the final nail in the coffin in terms of this place starting to shut down?
It was the economy. Actually, when Menards opened, they didn't hurt us, but for about 2 months. We didn't really notice it from Lowe's. Carter's some, but we could hold our own. But when jobs stopped, companies started closing, there weren't jobs, there was not money being made and spent. People stopped buying a different house or adding on. It was the economy. We just kept trying to hang in there. 2010 and 2011, and we thought it might change in the fall of 2011, and then 2012, the spring. It's not happening. And we wanted to quit before we had to file bankruptcy. We didn't want to leave and owe people money. We didn't want to tarnish our good reputation, either business-wise or mine or Greg's. We just wanted to do it right.
All right, what's after this for you and some of these other people around here? What's the next step?
Well, one of our men has already gotten a job with a competitor, and that's fine. We won't be competitors pretty soon. And he's going to stay here until we're done, and they understand that. And another one has the second interview Friday at the same place. And maybe our truck driver. The other two, I'm not sure what they're going to do. Greg, I'm not sure what he's going to do. He said he wants to be a kept man, and his wife wants to know who's going to keep him. I'm probably going to try retiring. I'm old enough to retire. I plan on working a while longer, but it's not working, so I'm going to retire and live on Social Security.
All right, and then what do you think is going to be? I mean, I know it's a week away, but what do you think is going to be going through your mind as as the clock ticks towards 4:30 next Wednesday?
I'm going to try to not cry. I know I will be here at least most of the time for a couple of months. Greg probably will too, and maybe Steve, our credit manager. We've got lots of things to wrap up. After that, I will probably be the only one coming in off and on until February, because there's got to be corporate tax returns filed for state and federal and different things like that. I've still got to cancel contracts and rent leases and stuff like that. So if I can concentrate on that, maybe I'll be all right. But I expect to have red eyes and a red nose and cry a lot.
All right, and one final thing I'll ask you here is, what's your favorite memory from working here? What's one memory, or even if you can't name just one, what will you take away? What will be the memory that you take away from working here?
Well, the camaraderie and some of the people that added to that are gone. Unfortunately, a couple of people passed away. Another one quit because her husband got a job somewhere else. And one of the girls got married, so she moved. But they've even stayed in touch until, well, two of them got sick and passed away. But it was just the feeling of all working together for one common goal, knowing what we were doing, knowing our jobs, doing them right. And then, since I grew up in lumber and building, it was sort of nice. I think Dad was proud that his daughter was running a lumber yard, so to speak, or helping run one. His sons didn't. And of all things, one of his daughters does. So I think that made me proud. My grandfather died before I could tell him, which makes me a little sad, but I think Grandpa knows. Lumber and building and lumber yards has been in our family ever since I can remember. So that made me feel good. It's sort of like completed circle, I guess.
All right, anything you'd like to add?
Just that I appreciate you giving us this time, and I do hope it runs. For your sake, you've spent a lot of time here today, and for ours, and just for the community to know how much we've meant to people, and how much other mom and pop businesses mean to people, how important they are. They've been here for years and years. They've gone through good times and bad. They've, like the guy said, brought you stuff on Saturday or dropped it off after work. They've come to mortuaries. They visited you at the hospital. They've run tabs when you didn't get your draw from the bank, or somebody stiffed you for a bill. And they came in and said, I wanted to pay, but I don't have it. And we've worked with them. That's what mom and pop places do. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the bigger places. They serve a purpose too. But you're not going to get that flexibility and caring and knowledge, for the most part, in a big place. You'll get it at a small place like this.
All right.
So,
Thank you very much.
thank you.